This is OBS on the right-hand side. This was basically, I'll get into kind of what scenes and sources and stuff like this are in a second, but I just kind of want to give a rundown of what like OBS is basically. And it is freeware that's made like by this group of people that work under kind of like a collective as the OBS project. It was like founded in 2012, and basically it's a streaming portal that is completely open source and like free to use. It will be free forever. All of the code that they've created, which I think is really cool, is like free and open to the public to use and manipulate. And there's been a couple of different types of programs that have made from their like source code, like their base code. And it can be used on Windows, Mac, Linux. To download, to obviously start it, you're gonna download it and off the OBS project website. And kind of like history-wise, it's kind of been used primarily by gamers, especially like PC gamers and stuff like that. OBS is used primarily by this group on like a platform called Twitch, which has gotten like quite a bit of use by a lot of different communities as of late, and it's kind of just like opening up kind of the categories of which it is. But as you can see on their website, it's mostly just streaming content, of like gaming streaming content. Today, what I'm kind of planning on teaching is how to kind of set up OBS from the jump and kind of get you to be able to stream onto Twitch. You're also able to stream onto YouTube and Facebook. The one thing that requires a couple extra steps is Instagram Live, and it can be done. You just kind of need to download a separate plugin to go from there. But I'm assuming I'm kind of just going to move into once you have it downloaded and set up on your computer. So I'm going to minimize this. And basically this is, I am starting to do a live stream show on 8Ball TV on Tuesday nights. It's called Private Program. And as you can see, this is kind of like, I have it set up. You set up kind of the program from scenes and sources. So the kind of the easiest kind of thing that I can kind of relate to is if you've ever used Photoshop. There's your kind of like folders, which I would call your scenes basically. And then the sources are the layers of that you have in that program. And they function the same way. Basically, everything on the top is at the absolute kind of like front end, like the first layer on top of everything else. So this one is a PNG that I made, and it kind of floats over everything else. MLP is this little My Little Pony GIF that I found. And that's obviously behind it, but it's on top of everything else. There's a couple GIFs that I just pulled literally from the internet, and they kind of create the whole kind of layering system. So that's kind of how you kind of construct a layer, I suppose. And this is a little bit more advanced. I'm pulling in a lot of different things. For a lot of people, I'm sure it's just getting their webcam or their whatever's on their computer onto the program itself. I have this one specifically with some fun stuff in the background. Let me take out like a lot of this stuff and just focus solely on the video capture device that I have here. So this is just my webcam that's on my computer. I'm kind of overloading my computer right now actually. But to get this kind of in kind of our like work area, let me see. Hopefully I'm not jumping all over the place. Is this all making like, I know I just flew like a lot of information. So I guess maybe we can go through the process. I guess what would be a little easier is just constructing a scene, because this is what you're going to show like on your streaming platform. So when you start off, it's usually going to be a blank scene. And what you're going to do is you're going to click this plus button right here. And you can type the scene out to be anything. So for this, I'm going to workshop scene. I'm going to comment it and do this. And you're going to come up with like a completely blank canvas, basically. And this is like a 1920 by 1080 canvas that usually fits just about any platform. You have a multitude of sources that you can link in. What's great about Open Broadcast System is you can really just pull in just about anything from your computer onto this. Like the possibilities are endless. Like I mentioned before about Instagram needing a plugin, there's like a lot of things that you can kind of pull. There's a full community of people on OBS's forum that create specific like plugins for just about any software you can think of. So you can kind of get as technical or as simple as you want. If you're planning on just doing like let's say our goal is to just get you on like a streaming platform. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open up this, and you're going to go to video capture device right here. And it comes up with creating a new, and I'm going to say webcam right here. So it'll have a device, all the devices that are like connected that are video capturing devices. Right now, the only thing I have plugged into my computer is the webcam. That is my like FaceTime HD cam. So it's gonna pull up the space right here. You can stretch it out. You kind of have free manipulation over it, and you're gonna stretch it all the way so it covers all of the black space of the canvas. You also have a couple different options for size presets and things like that if you have something specific for what you're exporting to. And you click OK. And yeah, this is stage one of just putting yourself on your computer. There's a mic option here. It should automatically connect to the microphone that you have like set up. Yeah. And then not to get, as I was mentioning before, you kind of have the option to kind of add in like a bunch of different layers of things. Let's say that you want to add a photograph. You're going to go here. You're going to go to media source. And as you can see, I have a bunch of weird ones. I'm just going to say photo right here. And you have the option to browse in your kind of computer folders. Let's see. Personal files. Pull something from, let's see, Downey video. I have a bunch of videos and stuff like that. You can also do photos. Let's do this Buzzley Berkeley video. One thing that I do recommend, and you can see from the settings down here, is there's a loop option and there's a close file when inactive. So I usually put these two on when I go live, because when I click over to the scene, it automatically starts the video from the top and it continues looping. If you put the scene in, if you put the source material in the scene without these two options clicked, it'll only play through once and then vanish usually. So some people get kind of confused when that when your video is just like disappeared like when you put it in there, and that's the reason why. You also have the ability to kind of speed up and slow down content. This goes for videos obviously and audio, and you have the option to speed it up by 100% or slow it down by 99%. So it's usually just like a frame by frame. That's a bit ridiculous, but if you're doing something more artistic, that makes sense. And you can click OK. And as you can see, there is this Buzzley Berkeley video open. I love this scene so much. It's like really pretty. And depending on your computer's bandwidth, you can really load up sources with as much crazy stuff as you want. One of my favorite ones that I create like little bumpers for the show that I do. And my favorite one from last week was this one. And it's just a video background. It looks kind of crazy. There's a bunch of explosions around a planet. This is a GIF, or this is a single image that I put a filter on and it moves over and it can kind of layer on top of each other. There's like 15 different layers with a video in the back. So it looks really animated and like super crazy, but it's pretty simple. And if you have any questions about how to kind of manipulate things to move on their own, I can show you that at the end. But I'm gonna go back to our simple scene, which is right here, workshop scene. That's just me. And if this is just the option that you want, that's perfect. Right now, I have myself streaming on, you can see right here, 8balltv.club, live.html. So I'm on the 8ball live stream right now, and through this whole thing, I have been playing live. And you can go, if you want to drop the link, you can see, I can drop it in the Zoom chat. Let me see. How do I get there? I have no clue. But I've been streaming this whole time. So to get from OBS to your streaming platform, basically this is what you have to do.
If you like scroll down to the bottom, you should be able to see chat there.
Oh, I don't know if I see it, unfortunately. It's cool. It's all good. But let's see. Okay, cool. So let's see. To do that, you're gonna go to get to like your streaming platform, stuff like that. You're gonna go to controls, settings, and it's gonna come up with some general information. So this is the more technical end of this whole thing. Basically, these first ones are like your first like 5 are going to be the ones that you're kind of probably going to be interacting with the most. And well, I rather these. This is probably the most important, which is your stream. So every website that is available here is Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook Live, Restream, Twitter, etc. Each website on their back end of your account has a stream key that you connect to. And this is like a really important number. It's a random key that is created for your account and is yours only. And I highly suggest that it should be treated as like a password or something. If people have access to your stream key, people can kind of take over your, I mean, depending on how big of a broadcast you're planning on putting on, you really just don't want to pass this out. But I'll show you how to find it on Twitch. Once you create an account, you're going to go to the settings right here, and you're going to go to video producer. Or rather, account settings. Sorry, my bad. And under the settings for your account, it's going to be under channels and video. And it has the primary stream key right here. So you're going to copy that, and then you're going to paste it into the key right here, and you're going to press OK. And from there, you can literally just click like start streaming, like from right here on the control center at the top. Mm-hmm. And we'll go back to our channel. And as you can see, it might take a second. There's usually about like a 5 to 10 second delay, depending on how good your internet connection is. But as you can see, my face is there. We're live. And yeah, this is me from 5 seconds ago. Yeah, some things people, and then I'm just going to stop streaming because it takes a lot of bandwidth right now. Some people are also interested in recording. Let's say that you're doing a live set that you want recorded, you're doing an interview. You can go basically to the output. And what you do here is you create a recording path. So usually what I do, I use this to, I also do like movie club on TV. I create a little folder for each movie club that we did. We have one for Trash Humpers, we have one for the Entity. You just want to have like a foldered output. So let's do workshop folder. Click that, and you're gonna click open. You have a couple of different options, but bear in mind that all of these options require like more or less bandwidth. So let's say that you're working on a laptop. High quality honestly works. It looks great. It's like probably the smallest file size that you'll get.
Tremendously large.
What's that? Yeah. Lossless quality is kind of a bit ridiculous, especially if you're working on like webcams. If you have like a 4K webcam, or like, let's say that there's the option of using like a Black Magic device or something to connect like an actual camera. Like let's say that you're connecting your 4K like, you know, camcorder to this stream. I don't know who really is right now, unless you're doing like a large event or something like that. Indistinguishable quality is when you have some like heavy duty machinery, but it's a bit ridiculous if you're just doing something from a webcam, because webcams already look kind of like low res anyway. But do follow your heart. Recording formats. This usually just comes down to editing. MP4s are usually, I keep it simple. People are already expecting things to look kind of like whatever when you're working with this type of stuff. So yeah, I do what you want to do with that. But there's the option for it. And there's also the encoder. I just keep it at X264. There's also audio options. And this is usually if you're like a musician or you're a DJ with like a controller or something that you want to connect. This is usually where if you're doing everything kind of in your own, kind of like on your own computer, you're not collaborating with anybody online. This is where you'll connect through USB to your like MIDI player, your digital audio interface, whatever. Right now, you'll see that you'll have like a couple options. There's mic auxiliary audio device. This will automatically go to your laptop audio or your display audio. But if you have a like a digital audio interface for a microphone, it'll show up here with if it's connected through USB, and you'll just connect it through there. Then there's like a couple of specific options for like push to talk and stuff like that. I mean, that's if you get more technical, but we're trying to keep it simple for the workshop. And yeah, from there, you can, after you have all of your backend info, how you have everything you want set up, you can click start recording. And this can align with the stream. So you can be streaming and you can be recording at the same time. And if you're like, am I recording right now? Is this doing it? You can check at the bottom right here. And one is for the stream, which is live. And it will show how long you've been on for. Recording, it'll show how long you've been recording. CPU talks about kind of like the frames per second that you're picking up on your stream. And usually when you go live, there's also another option about lost lost frames, which is kind of like a good indicator of how strong your stream is. Like this program has gotten better over the years, but it does take a lot of RAM. It uses a lot of kind of like random access memory from your computer. So just be cognizant of not having too many tabs open, because it is free, which is amazing and fantastic. But it's still prone to kind of bugging out a bit. So I'm gonna click stop recording. I'll go to the workshop folder that I created, and lo and behold, there's a beautiful little MP4 file with the date and time, and my big ass forehead is talking to you right here. So yeah, that is basically like a quick, super quick run through. If you have any questions, like let me know. Like I'll totally, now is the time to ask, I guess.
I actually have to head out, but thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Absolutely. Thanks for coming through.
Sure. Sure. Well, again.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, before you go, I think it would be cool if you plugged some of the things that you use this stuff for, like private program,
Right.
movie club.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is like some like a program that we're really trying to kind of push on because it is super user friendly. I can't think of many programs that like are so like simple, and like simplicity is like key because it allows for a lot more creative uses. Like and I've been seeing it a lot through like live streams and stuff like that. For TV, we're really trying to specifically like teach people this so they can create TV shows. Like what's really amazing about this is you can really, if you learn it and you kind of get used to it and you get comfortable with it, you have the ability to really create some like really professional looking content. And you can for us, like for me, every Tuesday night I do a talk show based on Zoom with a bunch of my friends called Private Program. And it's like a big talk show, performance show. Another thing that we use this for, not to go live, but to record really quick, nice looking kind of intros, is for Movie Club, which I host with my friend Alex every Wednesday night at 8. Last night, one of our volunteers, Mike, DJs, and he also does VJing, like video DJing and stuff like that. And he created a live stream called Sad House, which was him DJing and VJing at the same time. Performance shows, talk shows, streaming, like there's the possibility to kind of just get any sort of content out is super simple through this program. And you can kind of approach it from a bunch of different angles. So if you're interested in kind of live TV, I would suggest creating something on here, record it for 15, 30, 45, an hour long, 60 minutes long, and send it over to us and we'll put it on immediately. We're just looking for people to make things, and they're great. I don't know, like
yeah, send us stuff for TV, hang out with us in Private Program, in Movie Club.
Yeah,
just because we're physically distanced doesn't mean we're socially distanced.
Exactement.
Yeah,
and just get creative. I mean, like this is the best time to really explore video art and video things like and if you've ever, and I know I keep saying this, but if you've ever felt intimidated by video editing software and stuff like this is like such a loose, easy, simple program to really kind of get your feet wet.
It's super accessible. I expected to not understand a thing like that was going to come out of your mouth, but I really feel like I could do this.
Yeah, it was really, I hope so. And if you have questions, like feel free to reach out to me. I'm like super easy to get a hold of. Like you can catch me on Instagram, I guess, Mason_Wilson. I'll be your tech support. Just let me know. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Big IT man. I'm gonna turn it off and on again.
Cute.
Okay.
All right.
Stop recording.